You Can Sit By Me. Brought to you by Promise Resource Network. And today we're going to talk about no more excuses. No more excuses keeping us from our greatness. I got a crew in the house. Hopefully we'll have some folks on chat. But let's go ahead and get started. When I was, Bunny and I were talking about this, and she actually came. Bunny's not here right now, if you could tell. So she couldn't make it today, but she wanted to gave me this information. I was so excited about it because I use a lot of excuses to keep myself down, right? And that's what excuses do. It says a reason or explanation put forward to defend or justify a fault or offense. I put something out there that justifies what I just did. An excuse. Right? I heard in this podcast that excuses are like crutches. We use them, and as long as we use them, we'll be stuck with them. Right? When we're built to run. We're built to run. Right? So, what are some excuses? What are some things that we get pissed off at? Yes, sir.
Procrastination.
Procrastination. I can make an excuse for procrastination, can I? I'll get to this tomorrow. Usually doesn't work, but you're exactly right. Procrastination is one. How about something that's not fair? I think when somebody isn't fair to me, that can give me the excuse to stop. When somebody is ugly towards me, I can get down in to myself and begin to blame that person, right? And I know for me, well, I had a therapist talking about fair. When I first came into recovery, I had a therapist that told me I can't turn. I said, this isn't fair, that isn't fair. And she said, if you want to see fair, go to Raleigh. They got one once a year. Which really pissed me off, but she's right. Fair is not guaranteed, is it? Let's see. We got Suzanne, good morning, and Sheila in the house. Good morning, good morning. So, even when things aren't fair, it's not an excuse for me to be smaller than I really am. Right? We can be offended. Yes, Ron.
Sometimes fair is really not your world. That's one of the reasons why it ain't fair to you.
Yeah.
It could be not for you.
Yes. That's it in a nutshell, Ron. You got the whole lesson. If it's not for me, I don't have to go there. It's the things that are for me that I want to stop using excuses about, right? I want to be able to not use that excuse that I'm not capable, right? When I went back, or before I went back to graduate school, I thought of every reason in the world why I shouldn't. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. I can't read like that stuff anymore. I'm not a student for 20 years. And I used all these excuses to keep me stuck. Right? And I stayed stuck for a long time. And it wasn't until I got with a group of women who encouraged me, who said I could do this. You know? And it changed my whole world. Being around people that can help me not get stuck in my excuses. That can say, you got this. You know you're not stupid. You know you're not old. You're older than everybody else, but but they're young. Think of your experience that you bring to that situation. So those excuses can keep us stuck, can't they? To be offended by someone is a good excuse to be pissed off, right? I don't need a good excuse to get pissed off. I'll just get pissed off. Right? So being offended by someone, um, having to deal with certain things in life, like traffic, like other people, like family, all these things that can hold me back. And I don't want to be held back today. I want to go to my full potential today, but I've got to get rid of my excuses. I've got to get rid of my excuses. I refuse today to live with a chip on my shoulder. Now, we all probably got a reason to have a chip, right? Some trauma happened, something terribly unfair happened to us. So that's justified. I got an excuse for having that. If you've been through what I've been through, right? But it's not until I knock that off that I can get out from the weight of that anger, that resentment, that chip on our shoulders, right? Anybody got a chip on their shoulder? Yeah, Henry, what you got?
Police
Yeah,
have a chip in our interaction, knowing that two type of police, one for the blacks, one for the whites.
yeah,
And so that's the chip.
yeah,
Also coming in contact, being incarcerated for many years, it's also a chip.
yeah,
I've been diagnosed with having authority complex. You know, once I see them blue shirts,
yeah,
automatically it goes to 100.
yeah,
And for the most part, they could be right. I
yeah,
just say, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Built to be messing with you like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm trying to walk the other way. And all I know is you keep standing in my path with the questions and
yeah,
this and the motive and this and like my last case, go to the hospital, get beat up on.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that interaction.
It sometimes those excuses are justified based on other people's behavior. But am I going to get stuck there? That's the thing.
No, I just learned to go the other way, man. Try to at least.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? To avoid confrontation. Because I know how I am,
yeah,
my chip,
yeah.
and where it stemmed from. I'm just talking about me. I don't know about anybody else. I'm just talking about me.
I appreciate that. And other people's reactions to us, other people's aggression towards us, can get us stuck. I mean, when somebody comes at me that way, I got a choice right then, don't I? We talk about choices all the time.
Attitude and behavior.
Absolutely. Only two things I can control is my attitude and my behavior, like Henry said. And if somebody comes at me, I can use that as an excuse to go back at them, right? If I can take a step back, and in the same way I want compassion, love, and respect, if I can look at that person and give them compassion and mercy and acceptance, it takes away my excuse, right? I see you as another human being. I don't see you as my enemy. I see you as someone that is part of my life, um, but I'm not going to use your behavior as an excuse for negative behavior on my part. Yeah, Ron.
Isn't the enemy in people's life, isn't that enemy the opponent like a chess piece that's always in your way?
Life is hard, isn't it?
It's like chess, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
I like
And
that analogy.
yeah, you gotta move,
Yes, navigate.
navigate. Thank you. You
Navigate
gotta
life.
navigate. Um, you gotta know where you're going next. You gotta make those choices, right? And the cool thing, if we're playing chess with somebody we probably know what they're going to do, right? So if I'm around somebody that consistently comes at me, belittles me, talks trash to me, whatever. If I know that's coming, right, I don't have to use that as an excuse. I can, like Henry said, I can walk away. I can do something different today that can take away that potential to blame someone else, right? Because when I blame someone else, that's my excuse. That's my excuse to get away with anything. I can excuse some very intense behavior, right? I have excused it before. I was justified. Yes, sir.
You let somebody control your behavior.
That's right. That's right.
And you got the power.
We do. We've got the power. And when we use those excuses, it takes the power from us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not living in my truth.
Right.
Right? I believe in a lie. I'm either believing my lie or somebody else's lie. So I don't want to do that today. I want to be the person I'm supposed to be, without the crutch of blame, without the crutch of excuses, and without that crutch, like I said, we can run. We can run, right? Don't settle for where you are. Don't let your excuses make you settle. Right?
Never be satisfied with yourself.
Never be satisfied with yourself. Always striving to be better. Always striving to do things that are more beneficial in our world. Always, always. It says don't get stuck looking back. Our past, our trauma, our difficulties can cause us to make excuses for our current behavior. Well, this happened to me. I will never take anyone's trauma away from me. Never. It's something we walk through. It's something we sometimes we're carried through. But I'll never take anything away from somebody's trauma. However, we don't have to get stuck there. We don't have to get stuck in that circle of this happened to me so I don't have to, or this happened to me so I can't. That's what I get. I can't. I don't have the abilities because of my past experiences. Right? But that's not true. We don't have to get stuck looking back. We don't have to get stuck looking back. We talk about being in the present, being in the moment. And when I am in the present, I am less likely to perseverate on what happened to me in the past, right? If I'm where my feet are, I can be the best me today, right? I don't want to miss my destiny. Courtney, hey, we got the girls up at the conference, the court conference. Half our staff is up there. Miss Lisa, Courtney, Aaron, a bunch of folks. So I'm glad y'all are tuning in today. Hey, she said. So no excuses. So get to work. I'll be hanging around there eating breakfast till noon. We're built to run. We're created to run. Right? To run towards our destiny, to stand straight against our oppressors without blame or excuse. So that I can. The reality is, no matter what somebody does or says, unless they kill me, I can have a choice in what I do about it. Right? The most terrible, terrible acts are forgiven. We see that all the time on TV where a family member, someone's been harmed, and a family member says, I choose to forgive. And that breaks that excuse. Because there are a lot of good, I don't want to say there are a lot of good excuses to show your ass, but there are a lot of good excuses to show your ass. However, does it get me what I want? That's the question. Does it get me what I need? And these excuses bar the door from my future, right? It locks up my destiny because I'm stuck right here. Stuck right here. And we were built for great things, right? We were built for great things, life changing things. Uh, when we lose our excuses, our gifts and talents show up, right? When I can finally get past that, I'm not smart enough, or I'm too old, or I'm not whatever it is. When I can get past that, my gifts and talents come out. Had I not gone back to school, I wouldn't know that I was a good speaker, right? Because I never spoke before people before school, right? I was a special ed teacher. It was all one on one. And, 15 years later, here I sit talking to the world, you know? It's wild. Our destinies are unlimited. So these gifts and talents come out. These new things that we weren't even aware were in there. When I get past the blame, I can find those things. Those things come to me. Anybody ever experienced that when they got to a place where they began to accept themselves and live in a beneficial way to get past the excuses? Anybody's life change?
Mhm.
Tell me about it. Nice and loud.
I mean, I think that pretty much everything that I consider myself to be good at, I only started realizing after I stopped telling myself that I couldn't,
Yeah.
and that was not terribly long ago.
Yeah.
Um, and now I'm kind of like, I live in a place where I know that I'm good at giving to other people. I'm good in a crisis. I'm good at problem solving. I'm good at a lot of stuff. I just had to try.
Absolutely. We just got to try. We just got to get past that fear. Fear is immobilizes me, and that's a lot of times what's under that excuse. The fear that I'm not good enough. The fear that I'm not worthy. The fear that I can't. What if I can't? Well, then there's something else for you, right? Um, there are seeds of greatness planted in us that will take us to unbelievable life. But we got to water that, don't we? We got to feed the seed so it grows in us. And if you've ever had a garden, you got to get in there and get the weeds out too. The weeds are the excuses because they choke off the good. They choke off the good. Hey, Jeremy. He says, hi, here's your live Diet Coke. Hey, Sam. Sam's in the house. Yay. So no excuses today. That seed is planted in us for greatness. Each and every one of us. You may be sitting here and not believe that, but it's true. We are bound to have a significant influence on this world. Each and every one of us. Yes, sir.
I think that we just ain't tapped into it yet.
That's right. That's right. And once we tap into it, that's when it really starts getting good, huh?
Yeah.
It does. It does. But I got to get past what I got to get past to get there.
Right.
Right? Because if I use these excuses, like I said, they're like a crutch. I don't know what's in me because my attention is on this crutch. I can't. I shouldn't. I'm not whatever enough. Can bound us. And when we plant these seeds, we want to water them. We want to tend to them. We want to weed to get away from the excuses and the blame. It's easy to blame other people.
But see, when you're home by yourself, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself.
That's what sucks. What about blame? That's kind of like maybe the opposite of an excuse, isn't it? To
Yeah.
blame me, it's all my fault.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have, right? Yeah, Ron.
Do you think I should start blaming uh, other people for the things they do wrong, especially when I ain't got no control over it? It's out of my control. So,
It's just a choice. You know, we make choices all day long. And when I choose, like we talked about yesterday, when I choose patience, especially with myself, when I choose um, to do the next right thing, whatever's in front of me, these choices can shift my life. And we make them all day. Right? I get up in the morning, I got a choice. What am I going to feel today? What am I going to do today that's going to help me feel in a way that I want to feel and think in a way I want to think? So that's the first of the choices, and we have choices all day long. And it's easy to blame other people, isn't it? Because some other people are assholes. And
It doesn't mean you got to be around them.
that's right, we ain't got to be around them, and I ain't got to be one today. That was a news flash to me, Sharon. You ain't got to be an asshole. Really? But I'm so good at it. Yes, sir.
especially when not only when the bad things is happening to you, it's happening to everybody. But what that other person is doing,
Yeah.
that's another reason why you shouldn't show out.
It's, I don't know, when I judge someone, is that what we're talking about when we judge someone's behavior? How they come at us?
Yeah,
If I can have that mercy and grace for them, it's hard. Especially if somebody gets really personal, right?
yeah.
Says something that jabs us. You know, those words cut. If I can at that moment, I can do one of two things. I can avoid or I can adapt. I can avoid, like Henry said, I can get the hell out of here.
That's why you don't take it personal.
Yeah. I can get the hell out, or I can take a step back and see, is there something that I can do in this situation to make it better? Can I look at this person who's very angry and say, I wonder what is causing that? I wonder that why behind that what? Why would they be acting this way?
One trying to figure it out.
It's hard to figure out. It's hard to figure out in our own heads why I do what I do. But sometimes if we just give someone that little bit of grace, you know, we begin to meet the real person, right? I used to come out hard. I used to be rough. And I choose not to do that today. I choose not to do that today. But I have to watch who I blame and what I excuse in myself, right? If I if I show my ass, I'm responsible for that. There is accountability in recovery, right? So I got to watch what I do, no matter what the other person does, right? If I'm not saying never defend yourself, I would never say that, nor be a doormat. But we can walk away. If somebody is not worthy of my time and energy, I will walk away, right? If you're not bringing me goodness, if you're just beating me up physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I don't need that. I can do that myself, right? I don't need that. I need to know how to lift myself up today. People who know us can help us with our excuses too, right? Those ladies that helped me understand I could go back to school they were brutally honest. What makes you think you're too stupid to go back to school? You do this and this and this and this, and that shows intelligence. They had to show me. They had to tell me my gifts and talents because I couldn't see them. But once I got away from that excuse of, I can't do this because I wasn't good in school. Once I got away from that, a whole new life opened up. A whole new life opened up. Hey, Hope, don't worry if you're late. We're all on time. You're right here on time. Blanked out, sorry. Big old trip.
Hey, bunny.
Yeah. So excuses. What else do we think about excuses? What else do we think about blame? What holds us back?
That's what I was asking you yesterday. Why do question I asked yesterday before I left? Why do so many people stay out there after the slip of the phone? You said what?
Oh, I don't know.
Remorse, guilt, shame.
Yes. We can stay in that because of remorse, guilt, and shame, can't we? I can.
But I don't see why. You know, the what behind the why, I don't see why.
Especially when you get nothing out of it.
Yeah, that's it. Why am I doing this thing over and over again, expecting different results? That is the definition of insanity, according to Einstein, right? Where I continue to blame other people, to use excuses, to blame myself, to be in, I don't want to say inadequate, to be less than what I could be.
Despair. Despair. It's the word despair.
Despair, absolutely. Thank you, sir. Hope says fear is a great reason to make up excuses, isn't it? We talked about fear for a second, but that's that underlying thing that's under anger, under depression, under all those emotions. And if I have an excuse to not do something, I never have to do it. I never have to challenge myself. I never have to go beyond where I am right now because in my head, I've got this little thing that says, oh, you don't have to. You've got a good excuse. You've got a good excuse not to do that. Right? Well, we very well may. Right? However, it doesn't have to be that way. We can choose to do something different. Yes, sir.
Now, if it's beneficiary, it's all right to do it.
If what?
If it's beneficiary,
yes,
it's all right to do it. But if it's not,
that's where we do that cost benefit thing.
yeah.
Right? People do pro and con. I do cost benefit. What is this behavior going to cost me? What is this behavior going to benefit me? Right? And we choose those things every moment, every day. Sometimes what it's going to cost me is significant.
Right.
So if I can not do that, that would be good. Sometimes if it's really going to benefit me, I want to do it.
Right.
I want to strive for that thing without getting stuck. But I gotta weigh it out. I gotta weigh. Is this excuse valid enough to stop me? How can I get around it? And that's where the people come in. That's where our support network comes in. That's where we surround ourselves with people that can tell us the truth. And that can say, honey, that's just an excuse. That's only an excuse. You can do this. But it's that fear that's inside us that keeps us trapped. What else y'all think? What do you think?
About my excuses that I make.
Sure. Nice and loud.
Well, I know I stunt my growth with my excuses. My spiritual, my emotional, my mental, and my physical growth. Whether, just wellness in general, when I make excuses, whether I be, making them out of fear and not wanting to, and lack of motivation.
Yeah.
And when that occurs now, like Sharon said, I make those costs and those benefits. And I look at, is this all fear driven? Is this going to benefit me to stay here, or is it going to cost me? And what is it going to cost me?
Yes.
And being able to see that for me, someone who has to see things in the black, when I'm able to see that, then that helps me to have that motivation to make that phone call and to be like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I've done. This is my plan of action to better my wellness in all those areas of life. That's
absolutely mind, body, spirit. It
exactly.
affects it all. We all have those choices, don't we?
We do.
I thought of a song when I was singing that. It got in my head and then I lost it. Trust me, you don't want me to sing. You don't want me to sing. There is no excuse for me singing. No, really, it's not. I can't. So I'm not going to. I'm not using that as an excuse. I really can't. But that doesn't mean with practice I couldn't. There we go. There we go. If I try. What does Yoda say? Do not. There is no try. We do. We do. We all show up here every day and we do. We do this thing called recovery. We do this thing called growth and joy and peace and happiness. Hope says, why is it easier to overcome obstacles for someone else than for myself? Because everybody else's problems look easy. All you gotta do is this. When it's in my mind, I can't figure it out. It's too many pieces that won't go together. And I've got that excuse back there driving the whole thing. But if I can say to someone, help me, because I need other people's help. If I try to do this alone, there's no wrong way to recover, but there sure as shit is a harder way, and that's by yourself. Right? We don't have to do this alone anymore. We don't have to shine in isolation anymore. That's one thing about us here. We come together and we shine, don't we? We beam off each other. And that's what's beautiful about here. My light and your light and your light. And it just bounces off each other. It's giving me chills. That's what it's like here at PRN. We strive to get beyond our excuses. We strive to go beyond the blame to other people. You want to talk?
Sure. I was reflecting on what you were saying, and you were saying fear. Every time I hear that word, it means false evidence appearing real.
Yes.
So it's just sometimes so overwhelming that it just appears to be real, and it's not. What's real is that seed inside of you of greatness.
Absolutely.
And we have to continue to water that. And then you were saying that how I guess the question was posed, why is it that it's so easy to fix someone else's problems or try to support them in their problems? Because it's the enemy. The enemy means the enemy inside of me. So it's again that fear factor.
Yeah.
And I like the cost and benefit.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Versus the pros and cons. I always care about the pros and cons.
Yeah.
I like the cost and benefits, and just to, like yesterday you were saying, to stop. And when each and every step that we take, I think it's just to stop to think, is this going to cost me?
Yes.
Or is this going to benefit me?
Absolutely.
And then when you are in that moment, think about what it's going to cost you. And think about what is going to benefit you, and always keep your eye on your goal.
Yes.
That's motivation itself.
Yes.
What do I get? After this, what am I striving for? What is my end goal? What does that look like? And that should be enough motivation to know your why, to keep moving forward.
There you go. That purpose.
Yes.
We can get to that purpose without
that next
excuse.
destination.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, destiny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. That that ability to choose based on what's really going on in this situation. The choice I've got with that then is also fear. Face everything and recover, or F everything and run. Right?
Yeah.
All the running one looks good.
Yeah.
But the
F
facing
everything.
the facing is what we've got to do. It's what I've got to do today. I've got to face my fear. I've got to face those excuses that I've come up with that keep me stifled, that keep me on this crutch, that keeps me from running my destiny. Right? What else we got about excuses or blame or destiny?
I know my big thing, sort of related to what Hope said, is that it's always easier for me to invest in other people than it is to invest in myself. That's my big excuse, because I always think there's everybody else can do more, everybody else is worth more, and if I'm putting resources in myself, it's like a resource sink. Nothing's going to come out of it, and that's kind of the biggest lie that I have to overcome, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that, like, it's so all encompassing. That's a big enough excuse that can stop me from doing everything.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You use the word lie.
Yeah.
It is a lie.
It is.
It is an absolute lie. Whether you want to call it the disease, the devil, the universe, Uncle Larry, whatever you want to call it, it comes against us. Whatever that thing is comes against us. And I know with me, my challenges with mental health and substance use can make for a difficult day. But that doesn't have to stop me, because I've had many days where it didn't. But those impairments, for lack of a better word, those things that I can grab a hold of to say you can't, right? I don't have to do that today. I've proven 100% of the time that I can get through this, because I've gotten through everything up to now. And we've been through some hard shit. All of us. All of us. And if we can get through that, we can get through this. And if I can get past that cloud of blame and cloud of excuses that keep me stuck, that keep me in the dark, right? Man, you can't stop me then. We're invincible. We do recover. You're right, Henry. We do.
If you start off with your goal, one goal at a time,
Yes,
and then if you accomplish that goal, that might give you a little script to carry on the next goal.
that's right. That's right. So you got to have a plan, like we
Right.
said. Got to have a plan. Got to know where I'm going, so I can get the talents and the gifts out of me that are necessary for that situation. Now, if I don't have those gifts and talents, there's no shame there either. There's a place for each of us. There is a divine place for each and every one of us, because all of us are differently gifted. We bring something to this experience because of our past experience, and nothing has to be wasted. Nothing. Any last words? Me neither. Okay. Do what?
Warm line.
Thank you. The warm line. Henry, you are saving me today. Two things. The warm line is the first thing. If you need to talk to someone, if you need to be heard, if you need to be seen, call the warm line. It's a 24/7, 365 phone call away from a peer support specialist that's actually trained to listen, that knows, that can say me too. Peer support specialists are people with experience in homelessness, incarceration, substance use issues, mental health issues, anything you can imagine we've been through here. There is somebody here that has a similar experience to you. So call us. If it's 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon and your mama's on your nerves, call us. If it's 3 a.m. Wednesday and it's up here, call us. We're here. That's when my stuff starts in the middle of the night. We're there. Call us. The number's 833-390-7728. That's 833-390-7728. All right, the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is share this. If you enjoyed this class, hell, if you hated this class, I don't care. Share it anyway. There may be someone in your group, in your family, your second cousin, your long lost high school friend that may benefit from this. Remember, we're changing the world, but we got to do it one person at a time. Share this class. Share all our classes. Share the good that's out there in the world so we can have more and more and more of it. I want to thank my friends out there in chat land. I want to thank the wisdom of the group here. I appreciate y'all so much. All right, let's see. Keep peace, share love, and we'll see you later.